Every generation thinks they're right. The older ones say, we worked hard, we built things, we made life better. The younger ones say, you messed up everything. You left us with problems. But both may be wrong, or at least not fully right. Maybe it's not about who's better. Maybe it's about what we've all missed. Each generation made mistakes. Real ones. And if we never talk about it, we'll keep just repeating them. So let's talk about it. No yelling, no blame. Just a calm walk through the past, playing some Minecraft. So let's start off first with the baby boomers. I'm starting off with them because I'm a millennial. So I feel like that's probably best to start there. Now, they were born after a world war. That's important. Maybe give them a little grace. Because when you're born into peace after chaos, everything feels like a blessing. They had homes, jobs, families, and a sense of safety. They didn't grow up online. They played outside. They had routines. Life felt stable. They built a lot. Roads, houses, companies. They got things done. But with all that stability came comfort. And over time, comfort can turn into blindness. When life feels good, it's easy to stop asking hard questions. Like, is this system fair? Are we building something that lasts? Many trusted the world as it was. They didn't look deeper. And they didn't realize how fast things could change for the next group. So they passed down a life that looked good but had a lot of cracks. Then there's Gen X, who was just too chill. A lot of broken families happened during this period. This group saw what the boomers built, but they also saw what broke. They watched marriages fall apart. They saw leaders lie. They grew up during change, but felt like no one was listening to them. So they pulled back. Instead of fixing the system, many just shrugged and said, whatever. They became the quiet generation. Not loud, not soft, just tired of it all. Some have called this generation the forgotten generation. They wasn't on the news. They weren't always first in line, but they was watching everything. And they also learned not to trust too fast. Now there's a lot of strength in being chill, but when the world needs your voice, silence can be a problem. And that silence was passed down. Then you have the good old millennials, who was just too tired. Millennials was raised with big dreams and big hopes. They were told you can be anything, go to school, get a degree, follow your passion. So they did. And then the world changed. Jobs disappeared, debt piled up, and the dreams got heavier. This generation is smart, creative, and resilient, but also super anxious. They think deeply, maybe too deeply at sometimes. They feel like they're carrying the weight of the world on their shoulders, and it shouldn't be theirs. They grew up during the rise of the internet, and they saw the shift from real to digital. And it changed them. Now they scroll for hours, wondering why they simply just still feel empty. They care about people, they want change, but they're tired. Not lazy, just really tired deep down. Then we have Gen Z, who was just too confident. They were born into tech, into speed. They never knew a world without phones, Wi-Fi, or constant updates. They know a lot fast. They speak their minds. They stand up for what they believe in, which is powerful. But sometimes they move too fast. They think they've figured everything out. And when you move too fast, you can miss what matters most. They grew up watching everything, including the pain, including all the chaos. This is the cancel culture generation. So they put on armor. Confidence became their shield. But behind that confidence, there's fear. Fear of failure, fear of being left out, fear of being real in a world that edits everything. They're brave, but they're also tired, like the rest of us. Then we have last but not least, and very important, Gen Alpha, who is just too online. Gen Alpha is still growing up. Most are still kids, but already their lives are different. They're learning from YouTube. They swipe before they speak. They see more screens than faces. And it's not their fault. The world they were born in is fast, loud, and full of distractions. AI, filters, and endless content. If the generations before don't help guide them, they'll grow up confused. Not because they're weak, because we never gave them anything solid to stand on. They need more than screen time. They need real time. They need real people. They need truth, not just noise. So what now? We looked at each generation, and guess what? Every one of them got something wrong in some kind of way. Boomers got too cozy. Gen X got too quiet. Millennials got too tired. Gen Z got too loud. And Gen Alpha might be the most important of them all. Because this moment, we're at a point where they can either break humanity or make it stronger. They can stand up for humanity, or they can let it be overtaken. So maybe it's time to start reaching and realize the fails. Maybe it's time to start reflecting. Stop pointing fingers. I pointed fingers in my parents' generation for years. I used to feel like they never left me anything, and they told me to go to school and get an education and live this American dream. And now in my prime, AI is about to take everybody's career. This is the situation we're in now. But there's no time for complaining. It's time to start figuring things out. This is actually very serious. Time to start asking questions. Not who ruined it, but what can fix it, or what can I fix? And the most important question right now is, what will I leave behind that helps? It's okay to admit we messed up. That's where healing starts. It's not too late, but it will be if we don't wake up. So that's my take. You don't have to agree, but if you made it this far, I respect you and thanks for watching. What generation are you? Did I miss something? Tell me in the comments. Maybe next time we stop fighting, we start listening, and thanks for hanging out. See you on the next one.